It's been a while. It's been 2.5 years since I've actually put a decent effort into creating a video. That being said, I did have a few videos come out randomly, but it is good to be back. Why am I back? Where have I been? What have I been up to? And what is next for this channel? That's what we're going to discuss on this video. So let's get stuck into it. Firstly, if you're new here, my name is Tyler. I'm a strength coach at Unbound Athletic in a gym in Brisbane, North Lakes, Australia. I have had this channel around since 2018, creating fitness and CrossFit specific content. And over the last 4 years, I've been transitioning out of that into some strength training, and I'll run through why. If you're a returning subscriber, you're wondering where I've been, I spent the last couple of years in the Australian Defence Force or the military. I was an artilleryman, and I did a lot of crazy things, but it had a bit of a price on my body physically. My physical state of my body deteriorated quite heavily during military training and some of the exercises that we did. I ended up getting quite bad arthritis in both my hips. I have tears through both my labrums and my hips, and I've also got some tears in my shoulders, which limit my ability to do the things I used to do, ego CrossFit. Doesn't mean I can't do it to some capacity, but I definitely can't perform some movements such as squat cleans and wall balls without a decent amount of pain to my body. So it made me definitely rethink my options. And coming out of the military, I also lost a lot of strength. I was a lot weaker than I went in. My numbers went from 200 on a squat to 137.5. I went from a 221 kilo deadlift to something like, I think it was like 180 at the best. I wasn't even benching at that time, so I have no idea what I was benching. But strength massively reduced. My ability to perform at CrossFit was basically non-existent. I did give it one last hurrah, and I did the Down Under CrossFit Championships in Wollongong, Australia. I was able to compete against some of the top athletes in the world: Noah Olson, Chandler Smith, Tola. I versed Ricky Garrard, like some of the biggest athletes out there, and we even beat some of the big boys in a strength event. Teamed up with Cam Gray and my boss Michael L. We did pretty well, but that was realistically my last hurrah as it came to CrossFit, and I wanted to then distance myself from competing altogether until I kind of re-sparked that kindle in between this time period through powerlifting. I've spent the last 4 years powerlifting. This channel has actually experienced some of that, and that was a bit more recreational back then. But now, at the stage we're at, I was actually doing it pretty seriously, to the point where I competed in a few meets. I did my very first meet maybe June 2023, so about a year and a half ago, and I ended up winning. And I was like, oh, like I actually might be not too bad at this whole powerlifting thing. Now, when I started post-military, I set myself some strength goals: 220 squat, 260 deadlift, 160 bench for lifetime goals that I would achieve. And if I looked back at my training, I would be fucking proud of myself. Like, yes, you did it. You got those goals. So I've been spending, I guess, the last 4 years trying to get there. Oddly enough, the start of this year, the mid last year and the end of last year, I was able to achieve 2 or 3 of them. I hit my deadlift goal at a powerlifting meet in December. I got 260 kilos. I hit my squat goal in June at National Championship, which I somehow qualified for with basically no experience. Still waiting on that bench press goal to come through. I'm about 15 kilos off, so you guys will get to see the journey of that. And now my goals are set even higher, you know, because that's what all freaking crazy people do. They have these goals and they're like, I would die achieving these, and then they end up just going overboard once they already achieve them. But you know, I guess if we're not aiming for anything, what is the point? So I am happy with where I'm at, so that's definitely something, but that's currently where the trajectory of the channel goes. What does this mean for you guys at home as the viewer that I'm back? Look, if you are into CrossFit content, this is probably not the place to go. I don't mind if you unsubscribe, I'm not going to be offended. But if you are into getting stronger and building strength, I've spent the last 10 years strength training. Now I've specifically spent the last 4 years focusing on it to a higher capacity, and I have been training. I've got about 16 to 21 online clients at any one time. I have about 20 to 21 personal training clients at any point, and I do still coach the CrossFit classes pretty regularly. On top of that, I am looking at running lots of different programs, and we've created an app to help develop and perform these programs themselves at Unbound Athletic, which will come out soon. You don't need to worry about that. But spending a lot of time doing this, I'm pretty good at making people strong. I found that out too. So where do we go from here? I'm going to start building out programs that are going to help the absolute beginner get introduced to strength training. Because one of the things I found looking online, both in my own personal experience and the experience of others, is most basic programs for strength training begin with the hard barbell movements: back squat, bench press, deadlift. Anyone out there who tells me that a back squat is easy is insane, or they've been doing it so long they forgot about when they started and how hard that movement is. Training hundreds of people who have no experience, even youth athletes who not only have no experience but have no body awareness, starting to squat is very hard. And a lot of these programs, Starting Strength, Texas Method, Grayscale LP, they all begin with the main barbell movements. And if you've never done them before, even though these are relatively beginner programs, they are too advanced for the absolute beginner, the gamer who has never gone to a gym, or that person who's lacked motivation post New Year. So I've created a program that is to help you transition from absolute beginner to the ability to start Starting Strength, Grayscale LP, Texas Method, etc. It's called Squire Strength. It's going to be something that this channel is going to be centered around, as well as the other factors, reviewing major powerlifting programs, covering off little fun, powerlifting things, and talking about specific equipments, setups, strategies, etc., and getting into the gym for the first time. What led me to this idea of starting a powerlifting program that is before some of the most popular programs on the market? My brother Justin he's about 30, almost 31 years old. He's 30 years old. He has very little, if not no, gym experience. He did a little bit of CrossFit maybe 6 years ago, and he was very strong. I noticed that many years ago. He took about 6 years off, so absolutely no training. Muscle memory is there, but basically at this point, non-existent. There was no coordination or anything, and he had no motivation or anything to get into the gym. And basically what happened is, I guess life kind of turned around, and he thought, hey, maybe I want to try and get myself a little bit fitter, improve my health in some way, shape or form. I'm, struggling with, mental health or weight or whatever it was. He wanted to get into the gym, and he reached out to me, and we made it happen. We started him on 1 day a week. To commit to 1 day a week, that was pretty easy. 1 hour, 1 day a week, very easy commitment. We trained at this very joint here, my home gym here in Brisbane, and we built him up. We spent 4 weeks, 1 session a week. Then we went to it was 3 sessions a fortnight, so 2 sessions 1 week, 1 session another week, another 4 weeks in that format. Then from there we went to 2 sessions a week, where one of the sessions he would come to my actual gym where I work out, the other one he would come to my home gym. We progressed that to all the sessions at the actual gym, and then we went for 3 sessions a week, and we eventually got up to 4 sessions a week, I believe, at one point. We alternated between about 7 sessions a fortnight, and then I guess the December holidays came along, and we reduced that back to 2 sessions a week, which he's consistently maintained now, and he hasn't missed a week basically the entire time since March. So he's made massive progression in his lifts. He's gone from a 90 kilo squat to a 180 kilo squat. He's gone from a 65 kilo bench to a 107.5 kilo bench. He's moved from non-deadlifting at all. We didn't even start with deadlifts, and to being able to deadlift about 180 kilos very recently. So these are massive strength gains for a guy who hasn't done any sort of groundwork. He has no background in fitness whatsoever. Genetically, he is pretty gifted because he's a Hamilton, he's part of me. But that being said, he had no clue what to do, and we had to go back to the absolute basics and teach him how to squat with an empty bar, teach him how to press with a barbell, and teach him how to deadlift. So this is where I got the inspiration for Squire Strength, and it's going to be what we run through on this program, or this channel, I should say, for the future to come. What else are we looking at? Pull-up programs, looking at specific squatting, benching, and deadlifting programs to help emphasize or exaggerate one of those particular lifts, and just looking at general fun stuff. I've got a bunch of other athletes that I train who I'd love to highlight and give you their stories, so that you guys have something to work off. That is realistic. It's not me. It's an actual person who is regular, who achieves these goals, because I work in the industry. It's very easy for me to go to the gym because part of my job is looking the part and being the part. For you guys who work a 9 to 5 or have kids or have all these other external factors, you want someone that is relatable to your current circumstances to help you, give you a reason to show up, or as Josh Bridges likes to say, to pay the man. But that's where the channel is going. If you have any questions, please comment down below. hope you enjoy being here on what is going to be known as Squire Strength, and I'll see you guys in the next video, which will be whenever I feel like releasing it.